Sorry about that. I hit the button by mistake. Trying to move my hand around a little bit. I usually take the dismantle all this stuff, and what I'll do is I'll go and make a line that loops from here to there on the inside, because I don't want a vacuum operated fuel pump. I'll run an electric fuel pump in the car somewhere, so I just hit a button and it's got fuel. That's what I like to do, but I like to make it look like it's all original here. So that's about where we are. Not like I said, there's not a whole lot to see until I get working on something here. I am going to go through the car and pull the floors and the seats out of it. And it's got a bunch of tubes. And see what everything is. Here's the floor. Oh, this got a heater in the back. Oh, God. That's pretty cool. And that is a heater for the back seat. Boy, this thing is pretty high tech for 1924 with all this stuff. And the floors even look presentable. I mean, usually the floors are completely garbage. And this is the front seat. That is, I turned it up on in. There's another rim over there in the corner. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another six pinner. Now we got 6 rivets holding it on, and if they covered anything up there, I guess I'm not going to be able to tell much. But I got tubes. Trying to see where the battery goes. I guess the battery goes up here under the seat. Nope, not under the seat. Oh, right there. There's the battery box. Not much of a tranny. Yeah, transmission's a little dinky thing. It's got a solid drive shaft, sort of like a Chevrolet truck. I mean, overall, it doesn't look horrible at all. I just got to learn what everything is and what it does, and then I got to see if I can bring her back to life and make things work. Well, that's the tour of the car. '24 Dodge. Not much to look at. I mean, I'm sure it was like a cheap, generic car of its day. Probably, I would think maybe $300, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood is probably what it costs new. Something like that. That might even be generous. I don't know. I guess we'll all see together. So I'm just gonna shoot some air to it and jack the thing up and put her on stands. And then these rims, of course, have got to come off because this thing had been rolled around with the rims on concrete and rocks, and they've bent them up just a little bit where they're supposed to fit this stuff. And I guess the first thing I'm going to do is try to get it on some rubber. So until I do that, then I'll have to let you all look-see on whatever I'm doing again. Alright guys, so if you have information on these cars, I've never really thought about asking anybody's help, but I like to read the comments I get. So far, I haven't gotten any negative ones, but I'm hoping. No, I'm just kidding you. If you got any information or if you got a comment on this stuff, put it down there. It usually takes me a long time to get back if somebody asks me a question. Sometimes what I'll do is on the following video, I'll sort of answer that question. That's easier for me to do that than to try to type in a bunch of stuff and get back with somebody. I've done that, and it seems to, well, that's as good as I can do, I guess. But if you got information on parts, or if you got some Dodge parts laying around, give me a buzz. And so I'm happy to hear from you, and I do this for the comments, good or bad. So, okay. So I'll see y'all later until I make another video. Bye now.